Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Grit Wrestling Alliance. We have big show for us here today. Let's walk us through it. Have CM Punk opening the show with a promo. Kind of ruins it that Raven is going to come out during it. But next we have a tag team match between Edge and Christian and the Kings of Wrestling, Claudio Castagnoli and Chris Hero. So looking forward to seeing what the result is in that one. Also, this match here is a qualifier for the tag team ladder match in a few weeks' time. So, that's something to look out for. Next, we have Sabu versus the Great Khali in a one-on-one match. Khali has been on a good run and Sabu has been iffy. A few wins here, a few losses here. We're going to see what happens. Next, Ronda Rousey versus Awesome Kong. Winner will get a women's title match against AJ Lee in the main event of Grit Wrestling Alliance next week. And in our main event, Bryan Danielson won the Battle Royal last week. The winner of that Battle Royal was guaranteed a title match against Brock Lesnar. So he is taking that title match right here tonight on Grit Wrestling. CM Punk on the way to the ring for a promo now. CM Punk has been on great form lately. Obviously now he is the hardcore champion. Coming out here to speak his mind. CM Punk beat Raven last week in a one-on-one match, but after the match Raven was really unhappy. He ended up hitting the referee. There was a little bit of controversy. Don't worry, Raven has been fined by the Grit Wrestling board management. And here comes Raven now. This is a feud that I wanted to do for a while, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where this goes. This is something that I've been wanting to do with Punk. Give him the hardcore title and let him run into the ghosts of his past, if that makes sense. Raven out here with the mic in hand. Looks to be challenging Punk. Raven. I don't want a match. I want a fight. We're really going to take this to the limit. This feud here is really going to be a blood feud, as it was back in 2004 when everything happened. When Raven hung Punk from the ring, and then we went and we had the Clockwork Orange match. We went and we had the dog collar match. We're wanting to do something very similar here. I think eventually, I don't think Raven is going to take the title off Punk, and I don't even know if Raven is going to be a full-time member of the roster. I suppose I am going to wait and see how this feud goes and if I enjoy using Raven on this Sev. But for the most part, I think Raven is really just in for this feud. I might do something with him and Tommy Dreamer. Maybe I'll do something with him and Sabu. Maybe I could do something with him and RVD. The main reason I did bring in Raven though is because I wanted Raven to come in and challenge Punk for this title. Punk has obviously been on a really good run of form lately, and I think Punk is when I initially decided to put Punk in this roster, I initially considered him a guy that will go straight in for our heavyweight title and straight in and be one of those guys like Brock Lesnar and like all those guys around the top of the card at the minute, your Kurt Angles and your Bryan Danielsons. But what is happening here? Yeah, it ended abruptly, but the story progresses, and that's an alright way to start the show in my book. This is our tag team match. Like I said, this is a qualifier for the multi-man tag team ladder match that is happening in, I believe, 3 weeks' time. 2 or 3 weeks' time. Our next pay-per-view, Stretch for Success. This is the first of the qualifying matches. I'm thinking of having between 3 to 4 qualifying matches. Maybe some week I'll do 2 qualifying matches, or we'll end up finding a way, because I don't really want it to be a triple threat tag team ladder match. I'd prefer it to be a 4-way tag team ladder match. Just have more options in it, and like I think it's funner that way, because it's like the Battle Royale last week. There's no guarantee that I'm going to win. Like with a lot of one-on-one and tag team matches, I'm fairly confident in my ability, no matter what the difficulty is, to win those matches. But in these big multi-man matches, a lot of things can happen, and it's very tricky. Your odds just drastically go down. As Scott Steiner says, I don't want to go through the whole promo, but you know, in a in any given match you have in any given singles match you have a 50-50 chance of winning. In a trios match, 33% chance of winning. I think, like, obviously, that's why I'm wanting the Fatal 4-Way, with a 25% chance of whoever I pick winning. Anybody could win. And I like the idea of that, because it adds a little bit more surprise to it for me as well. Well, that was actually a good tag there by Claudio. I really like the Chris Hero Ring of Honor gear. Like, it kind of has the Ring of Honor font and stuff like that. The basketball jersey. I tried to get like similar kind of time frames for Claudio and Chris Hero. So I think both of these are from like 2000 and maybe 2010. Because I know Claudio had kind of long hair until he cut it, and I believe that was in around 2009 and 2010. So I wanted to get a Chris Hero one around that time, and when I seen that gear on Chris Hero, like with that Ring of Honor font, I think that font was the Ring of Honor font in 2010. So I think, like I wanted to have like a similar time frame, because I didn't want like modern day Claudio Castagnoli and like a 2002 Chris Hero, because I think I might have done that with the Hardys. I think the Hardys are really kind of like, it has 2000 Matt Hardy, but like I really think it's like Matt Hardy from like 2000 and we went for the spare there, but we couldn't get it. I think like even the PNG image that it shows, it's Matt Hardy from like 2019. It's like early AEW Matt Hardy, and like I don't really have a problem with it. I think I have OCD. Like small stuff like that sometimes annoys me, and like I said, like it doesn't bother me that much, but sometimes I just look at it and be like, oh, that doesn't look right. But yeah, like I'm genuinely happy with how everything's gone so far on this. I've been way more consistent than I thought I'd be. What is he doing? Yeah, I've been way more consistent than I thought I'd be, and like I'm getting a lot more comfortable doing stuff like this. I think it, like doing like recording these videos and stuff like that, I think a big part of it was trying to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm really enjoying it at the minute. And yeah, like I think it's really developing. Oh, great slam there! It's really developing into something now, which I'm enjoying. Like everything's starting to take shape. Edge goes to knock Chris Hero off the apron. We'll switch back to Claudio. We go for the pin. They should be it with the spare. And Edge and Christian are the first team confirmed for the ladder match. So Edge and Christian have a big advantage now going forward. They get to scout the opposition that are going to be in that match, that are going to be qualifying in the next 2 or 3 weeks. So yeah, Edge and Christian on fire here. Looking forward to seeing who else qualifies now. Next match, Great Khali versus Sabu. Khali is currently, I believe he's 2-0 here. He has been on fire lately. He picked up a big win against Chad Gable last week. In the first week, he beat, I can't remember who he beat in the first week, but it was Abyss he bet in his first week here in Grit, which was our first televised show. This is our third televised show, so third televised show. Obviously we had our pay-per-view to open everything. I think I even said it in the last episode. I'm really enjoying using the Great Khali. He's a guy that my brother picked to be a part of this save, and like I think him and like between him and Lesnar have and CM Punk, the three of those guys have been my three favorite people to use so far, and like I've used like a good few people in the past 4 weeks. I know like I've went and I've reused like a lot of people. Like I've used AJ Lee a good few times. I've used who else have I used? I've used Bryan Danielson a couple of times. I think I've used Moxley a couple of times. But yeah, those three guys have been my main three guys. You know, like I'm really liking using the Great Khali, and I think he is one of the guys that I am going to look at using a lot more going forward. As you can see, like I've used him the last 3 weeks in a row, so I am a fan of using him. I wasn't a big fan of Great Khali in real life, but in the game, there's something that just like something feels good about using the Great Khali in this game. Like I don't know whether it's just the type of wrestler he is, the way he has that kind of shield starting off, and he just no sells a lot of moves, and he's just really dominant. He's really dominant to use, but I actually haven't faced off against him yet. So like if I put him against Lesnar and I decide to be Lesnar, I think beating the Great Khali might actually be a challenge, you know, because he is a tough guy to take off his feet. He's a tough guy to brawl with. You know, he has that submission finish move, the vice grips. You know, the only thing is the closest I've been to losing a match so far was last week on this, when I almost lost to Chad Gable as the Great Khali, which I still think is the best match that we've had on this save so far. I had to use my resilience literally last minute to get out of the submission, and then literally 30 seconds later I tapped out Chad Gable with the vice grips. It was just, we started so dominant, and then he came out of nowhere and like he dominated for a good 3 or 4 minutes. And like I thought that like I would have had the match done really early. Like I didn't expect it to be a squash, but I expected it to be somewhat dominant. But like he really came out in the second part of the match, and like I said, like he almost tapped me out. Okay, yep, Sabu could just go for the leg drop. Oh, he's going for the pin straight away. Yeah, like as dominant as the Great Khali feels, I feel like once you break his shield, okay, once you break the Great Khali shield, I feel like his health just disintegrates so quickly. Uh, I don't know if that's just a part of kind of evening out the game and making it more fair, but yeah, like it's something else that I kind of find fun about using the Great Khali is, you know, you can't rely on, you know, like you can't rely on that kind of big defensive game, because it's the same thing. Like Great Khali has literally no stamina. Like I don't think I've ran in the last minute on this with Great Khali. Anytime I go to press L2, you know, it just won't let me run. He's going for the leg drop. I need to reverse this, and I do. I am just going to bring him to the center of the ring and just try to power bomb him, and then try to get a vice grips on as soon as possible. He has a red head right now, so, and we have him locked in. Let's tap him out. Okay, he had a resilience that he could use. That is not good. This has been another good match though. Like I think the most even matches that I've had so far have been with the Great Khali, and I think it's because a lot of the time, okay, we're on a signature straight away, so we can try double choke slam here. Okay, let's go for signature. Let's pin him, and if he doesn't pin, we'll put him in a vice grips and try to tap him out. Okay, yep, that's it. Three count. Great Khali, 3-0, 3 wins on the bounce. Definitely someone who will be looking at Brock Lesnar right now and thinking, you know, I should be having a shot at that title sometime soon. He's been so dominant so far, you know. It's very hard. I guarantee you he'll have a very close eye on the main event tonight with Bryan Danielson and Brock Lesnar. We'll see how he gets on though. This is our co-main event. We have Awesome Kong versus Ronda Rousey. I am being Awesome Kong in this match. Ronda Rousey has already had a match against AJ, which is the reason why I'm wanting to even things out a bit. Initially, I was going to have Shayna Baszler versus Awesome Kong here, but I decided to go with Ronda Rousey because I think Ronda can afford to take a loss, even though she is someone that I am planning on using a lot more. I know that Ronda can afford to take the loss right now. I am really looking at pushing Awesome Kong though. I think Awesome Kong against AJ next week on this will be phenomenal. I think it will be a good match. Like, it's a real styles clash. Two very different wrestlers. Uh, but yeah, other than that, like the great chain wrestling sequence going on here. We're gonna try to end it now though. Oh, and Ronda grabs a headlock. I went for a switch instead of a breakout, but Jesus, this is chain wrestling. Let's go to wrench it again. Alright, I think it's about time that we ended this. It's nearly going on too long. Yep. But yeah, Awesome Kong is someone I'm looking to push. There's other people as well that I have on my roster, and we're going straight back into chain wrestling. Ronda knows how to play the game here because, you know, she knows that in terms of a test of strength, she can't really beat Awesome Kong. So I think she's really just trying to ground her and stop her gaining momentum. Yeah, you know, like, there's a lot of women on the roster that I haven't even kind of used yet. Like, I have Sonya Deville, which is someone that I'm planning on using. I also have Gigi Dolan, aka Priscilla Kelly, who's someone that I am definitely going to use down the line. You know, I think her and AJ would be a really good feud. I'm also thinking of adding kind of stories to my women's thing, so I'm just wanting to try establish a little bit of, try get a little bit of momentum in the women's division first. Like, try, you know, like, I think it's very hard to build stories at the minute because we're still trying to establish our women's division. You know, like, it's like a lot of my women's division hasn't even been shown on the channel yet, which is why it's so hard for me to try, because like I've used Ronda maybe 3 times now or 4 times in 4 videos. Same thing, I've used AJ 2 or 3 times. So I think next week's women's match is the title match between the winner of this and AJ. But soon we're gonna have to kind of maybe do a few multi-woman matches just to try establish our women's division, you know, because it's extremely hard for us to establish these people if we're not using them. And I think that's something that I am going to have to do in due time. Like, you know, Ronda's actually doing well here, looking to drag Kong to the middle of the ring. There's Ronda going for the slam. Can't get Kong up. Kong's going torture rack. Can we just no, we can't let her out. Ronda is out now anyway. Great arm drag. We are on a finisher though, but Ronda is also on a signature, so we just need to be careful we don't get caught. Kong is going. Oh no. And Ronda reverses. Short arm clothesline there. Yep, she's going armbar. It looks like it could be Ronda that's going for the title next week. And it is Ronda. We actually lose. Ronda Rousey is challenging AJ next week for the title. And even though I was controlling Awesome Kong in that match, I am not disappointed. I think, you know, AJ Ronda main event next week, you know, it's going to be interesting. I can really see Ronda stepping up. I think I might look for a better Ronda. I think I might look for a better version of Ronda on this. Like, I don't think the face looks anything like her. But we have our women's title match for next week. Here we go, our main event of the evening. Brock Lesnar taking on Bryan Danielson. Brock Lesnar, the world champ, undefeated. Currently, you know, Bryan Danielson getting the better in the early exchanges. Brock has been on form here. I think it's something that, like, using Brock has been something that I've been wanting to do in this save. Like I said it before, like, he was always the guy that I was wanting to be my first heavyweight champion. I have no plans on taking the belt off Brock Lesnar. For all I know, like, he could hold the belt the whole length of the fucking, like, the whole length of the save. Like, I don't have an issue keeping that belt on Brock. There's nobody else that I'd rather have the belt on currently. But yeah, I really like our main event scene at the minute. Like, I know I haven't established a lot of, like, my people as main eventers. Like, obviously, like, I know your Sabus and your RVDs and stuff like that, and other guys that, like, probably will be stepping up to fight Lesnar soon. I haven't really established many of them, but yeah, like, currently I'm happy with who we have, but I don't think it's gonna be long before Brock steamrolls the majority of the roster, and we're gonna need to start looking elsewhere. I think I said it in my last episode. I was actually looking towards the UFC to bring in guys like Frank Mir and maybe Daniel Cormier, and who knows, I might even try bringing John Jones to fight Brock Lesnar if Brock Lesnar runs out of challengers. Maybe Conor McGregor. I don't know. It's more just at the minute I'm really looking into who'd be a good fit for Brock. By the way, after our next pay-per-view is when I am going to be editing my Grit Wrestling Alliance ring. This is obviously the ring that I was using for Bloodbath, and this is the ring that I'm going to continue to use on an annual basis for Bloodbath. But I will have another ring for my kind of weekly television show. It's just that I've been trying to get these videos out quickly. Like, I'm after recording 4 videos today, so or no, 3 videos today. So, Danielson just hit a pile driver. Whew. We actually lost our last match to Ronda Rousey, playing as Awesome Kong. Like, Brock Lesnar could lose the championship right here easily. Bryan Danielson is somebody who could easily... Oh, and there's a bus cycle. Yep, this could be... We could have a new champion. Oh, kick out by Brock Lesnar. Bryan Danielson there. That was a really, really close call. But Brock is fighting from underneath here now. He really needs to try gain some momentum to try pull back on Bryan Danielson, because Bryan Danielson, he's after hitting a signature and a finisher here, and Brock Lesnar's after kicking out, and Danielson is really taking it to Lesnar. Like you seen in the last match, anything can happen. Like, just because I'm controlling Brock Lesnar, that doesn't mean that Brock Lesnar is going to retain. That was extremely close. Brock Lesnar going for the F5. F5 by Lesnar. Covers Danielson. 2. Oh, Danielson kicks out of the F5. Lesnar's going to have to keep inflicting punishment on Danielson to try get Danielson to stay down. We all know, anybody who's watched Danielson in Ring of Honor, in WWE, in AEW, Danielson has the heart of a lion. The American Dragon stays down for no one, and Brock Lesnar looks to be going Suplex City here. Suplex City. Lesnar's calling for it. Going for it again. F5. Danielson cannot be kicking out of this one. 1, 2. Oh my god, he just kicked out of 2 F5s. Danielson, you can see by his back, he has been in an absolute war here, and somehow he is still fighting. And Danielson is still fighting from underneath. I'm not going to lie, Danielson probably deserves to win this fight. He's going for the cover. And Brock Lesnar kicks out. This could be a very, very short title reign for Brock. Danielson after kicking out of 2 F5s. Danielson continuing to put the pressure on Brock. Continuing to chip away. Both men here after being in a war, but there can only be one winner. Only one man can walk away tonight with the Great Heavyweight Championship. Lesnar rolls to the outside. Oh, Danielson flying forearm. This is really, really getting intense here now. Oh, Lesnar. Goes for a bear hug on the outside, but lets Danielson go. Gets back into the ring for the count out. Big clothesline by Lesnar. Will it take another F5 from Lesnar? Lesnar kicks off Danielson. Oh, and Danielson. Back elbow. Oh, big knee drop there by Danielson. Danielson is going for the bus cycle knee. This could be the end of Brock Lesnar's title reign. Oh, bus cycle knee. Danielson goes for the cover. I had to use my resilience there. This has been an absolute battle, an absolute war, 4-star match here. This has probably been the match of the save so far. Clothesline by Lesnar. Lesnar could get Danielson up for the F5. Maybe this time. A third F5 by Brock Lesnar. Maybe. He's in the ropes, isn't he? No, 1, 2, 3. Eventually, Brock Lesnar wins. 3 F5s. 2 bus cycle knees. An absolute war of a match. Probably the best match that we've had so far. And Lesnar walks out the victor, but Danielson definitely deserves a rematch somewhere down the line for that. Absolutely phenomenal showing. Thanks for watching episode 4. Episode 5 next week. More big matches coming. Thanks for watching.